Well, you're right on time for breaking today. Good evening from where you're watching us from. My name is Joel Church and our sign language interpreter is Tracy Dorcas. We have a lot in line for you and these are our top stories. KMPDU says doctor strike, which had been suspended for talks with the government, will begin as planned on Monday as issues remain unresolved. Cabinet to go recess from Tuesday 22nd to January 3rd. India's COVID-19 cases surpassed the 10 million mark as the World Health Organization plans to travel to Wuhan, China next month to probe the animal origins of COVID-19. Now, doctors will officially commence their strike effective Monday after talks with the government collapse. Through the KMPD official pages, they said this was due to unresolved issues after 8 months of engagement. Health CS Mutahi Kagwe has also been castigated following his remarks on the health workers' strike. Dr. Chibanzi Mwachonda, who is the acting secretary general for the KMPDU, criticized Kagwe for thanking medics, yet they are bearing the brunt of the COVID-19 pandemic. Shifting gears to matters politics, the Deputy President William Ruto has called for inclusivity in the BBI amendment process, further hitting out at the proposals of the document for excluding interests that affect the common mwananchi. Ruto further called for civic education to Kenyans before they go for a referendum so that they know what sections of the constitution they will be amending. And as Daniel Karuki reports, DP was speaking where he joined residents and leaders for the funeral service of Kabuchai Member of Parliament James Lusweti Mukwe at Sandiki Friends Primary School grounds. Take a look.
The Deputy President William Ruto has jump-started the BBI train that has been refueling at the IEBC station by calling for civic education before Kenyans go for a referendum.
Kabla hatujakuja kuwaambia hawa wananchi waseme yes ama no, kwanza tuwaambie ni nini hiyo wanataka kusema yes ama no. Kwanza tulete nakala na copies ya kutosha.
DP, who seems to continue being a strong opposer of the BBI process, has continued to call for inclusivity in the document, which he accuses of only focusing on creating leadership positions.
Kila wakati tunaongea mambo ya viongozi, mambo ya wadosi, nani atakuwa prime minister, nani atakuwa deputy prime minister, nani atakuwa rais. Lazima pia tuongee mambo ya mtu wa bodaboda na mama mboga na ule wa chini.
Ruto further claiming the BBI conversation should change from creating leadership positions to focusing on bodaboda and the common mwananchi. He was speaking during the burial ceremony of Kabuchai Member of Parliament James Mukwe Lusweti, who died on 4th December at a hospital in Nairobi County.
Huyu Mukwe ambaye amelala hapa hakuwa ati baba yake alikuwa chief ama baba yake alikuwa anajulikana, si mtu tu ya kuhangaika hapa hasala ya tauni ama si huyu mtu ameanzia kwa kutafuta kiti ya kansela, si huyu ni mtu hasala ya huko chini, si alikuwa mjumbe, si rekodi yake ndio hii tunasema hapa alifanya kazi ya muhimu.
Other leaders present in the funeral ceremony include the Senate Speaker Kenneth Lusaka, Bungoma Senator and Ford Kenya Party Leader Moses Wetangula, Kimilili MP Didmas Baraza, among others. Daniel Karuki for Switch TV.
Meanwhile, NC Party leader Musalia Mudavadi is now calling for a consensus on the Building Bridges initiative, saying finding a midpoint will minimize the standoff in the civil service. The NC Premier was speaking during the burial of John Nyaga in Embu. Present in the event was Deputy President William Ruto and the Cabinet Secretary for Tourism Najib Balala, who reiterated Mudavadi's view on the Building Bridges consensus as stand previously held by the Deputy President.
This is Kenya. Let us make ourselves truly Kenya. Let us unite. Let us not be divisive. Let us build consensus on many issues. Let us walk away from this notion that if you have a different opinion from mine, you've become an enemy. Let us make our civil service work, because the debate around the BBI has gone on and on and on. And I can tell you for free, we are reaching a stage where you're paralyzing the public service, because one is looking and wondering, are you for BBI or anti-BBI?
I pray and hope this referendum will not be divisive, because the repercussion of a divided nation will be bad. I appeal that it must be a unifying referendum, or if none, no referendum, but a unity of purpose to build this nation.
Elsewhere, the political class in Western region have castigated their colleagues supporting DP William Ruto's bid to clinch the 2022 seat to clinch the top seat come 2022, terming them as disloyal to the Mulembe nation. Led by Kakamega Senator Malala, the leaders have questioned the logic of supporting DP Ruto, while the Mulembe nation has already thrown its way behind NC Musalia Mudavadi for presidency in the coming general elections.
Sasa nataka niwaambie 2022 ule atakuwa rais wa nchi ya Kenya ni mheshimiwa Daktari William Samoei Ruto.
Pia sisi tumezaa watoto ambao wanaweza kuwa marais wa Jamhuri ya Kenya. Kwa nini utuambie tutoke hapa twende tusupport William Ruto kule Sugoi, na tuko na wetu hapa anaitwa Musalia Mudavadi? Hata kama ni kilema, yeye ndio wetu. Na tunasema ukiwa na bibi yako, hata kama ako na suruali imeraruka, huyo ndio mke wako. Usitamani wa jirani kwa sababu wako na ile kitu kubwa huko nyuma. So bwana Khalwale, wacha kutamani bibi ya jirani bwana. Wewe tafuta Musalia, hata kama amesamuha paka yeye mafuta, uza mtu wetu kwanza, ndio utuambie mambo ya kwenda Sugoi. Na mimi nimesema kama speaker na spokesperson wa vijana Waluya tumegawanika sana kwa muda mrefu kwa sababu ya uwivu. Adui ya Mluya ni Mluya mwenyewe.
Serikali tunataka tukue kwa serikali. Sisi tunataka tukae kwa serikali na tuunde serikali.
Away from that, the 2020 end-of-year cabinet recess will commence on Tuesday of December 22nd and end on January 3rd. In a statement to Newsroom today, Head of Public Service Joseph Kinyua said the recess will give members of cabinet a scheduled break from weekly cabinet committee meetings. However, during the recess, scheduled presidential engagements will continue uninterrupted. The calendar of the National Security Council and the National Security Council Advisory Committee will also continue as planned. However, noted that over the period, the delivery of government services will continue uninterrupted, and at the same time, a service standard will be offered. As parents and students gear up for reopening of schools on January 4th, Kakamega Senator Malala is calling on the government to heighten the health protocols in schools to avert the danger of the spread of COVID-19. Speaking in Malava, Malala has said that COVID-19 has had a negative impact to the economy, which has also trickled down to locals who look forward to send back their children to school. Therefore, calling on principals and head teachers to be lenient to them by not demanding full school fees as the students are readmitted back in January.
Inafaa mjue wakati huu wa corona wazazi hawana pesa kwa mfuko. So Jumatatu hiyo tarehe 4 watoto wakifungua shule, headmaster, headmistress, usiseme tunataka school fees yote kwanza. Hao wazazi hawana pesa katika mifuko zao. Ile kidogo ambayo wako nayo, mruhusu watoto waingie shuleni.
On to other news, Kenyan youth in the creative industry have been asked to embrace clean content production and champion for moral values and national aspirations. Speaking today in Mombasa, KFCB CEO Dr. Ezekiel Mutua urged the youth to utilize their talents to spread hope and inspiration. Lilian Maina tells us more.
Dr. Ezekiel Mutua reiterated that time has come to change the tide and focus on content that will market Kenya positively, as he delivered equipment to youths at the Mombasa Swahili Port Hub where the youth have been hailed for embracing creativity as it will revolutionize the creative industry positively. Mutua pledged KFCB support to the creatives, noting that the board has been keen to facilitate positive growth in the industry with sound systems, furniture, and requisite equipment.
We are going to continue supporting you. We just got approval, Madam Cass, and we want to thank you and the ministry for the Cinema Mashinani project. Tumepata BQs from Public Works ambayo inaturuhusu sasa kuenda kwa treasury kunegotiate tupewe pesa za kununua mangari ile ya mobile cinema unit.
Youth Chief Administrative Secretary Nadia Abdallah, who was the chief guest at the event, said that the government, in partnership with KFCB and the Ministry of Youth, is very invested in ensuring that the youth flourish in the creative industry, while urging the artists to focus on clean content and remain true to their calling of influencing the society positively.
Let's enable and have clean content, because you've seen the content. It's rampant. We are idolizing violence. We are idolizing rape. You know, we are amplifying thuggery and other things. So use this hub. You have an idea. Can my team stand up? You have an idea as creatives. Kenya ni mimi. Use them. See how we can now amplify and enable creatives to be part of Kenya ni mimi.
Kenya is currently grappling with an unemployment rate of 2.5%, and the move to use talents will not only boost in spreading hope, but as well as a means of livelihood. Lillian Maina, Switch TV, Nairobi.
Well, time to take a breather here on Breaking Today, but keep the conversation going on our social media platforms. Switch TV Kenya, Joel Chacha M on Twitter, and as well on Facebook, Switch TV Kenya and Joel Chacha. We'll be back with more stories. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Breaking Today. My name is Joel Church and our sign language interpreter is Tracy Dorcas. Moving on, Magarini Member of Parliament Michael Kingi has lost household items of unknown value after his Malindi house was broken into. According to Kingi, the thieves broke into his Serena home at around 11 a.m. when he and his family were away and stole mattresses, beds, gas cylinders, sufurias, plates and everything that was on their site. The theft was noticed after Kingi sent his boys since he was in Nairobi preparing to catch a flight to Malindi, and they found the door was broken and properties were stolen. The motive of the thieves is still unknown, and the Member of Parliament has recorded a statement with the police.
Cha kushangaza ni kwamba majangili hawa sijui kama walikuwa na nia gani, kwa sababu waliba vitu hata ambapo huwezi dhania kwamba mtu anaweza iba. Sababu waliiba paka mattresses za vitanda, wakaiba hata jiko, mitungi ya gas, wakaiba hata masufuria, wakaiba hata masahani, wakaiba kila kitu ambacho wanaona. Ni kama walikuwa na njama kukusanya kila kitu ambacho kiko kwa nyumba watoke nacho. Nafikiri walishindwa kubeba vitu zingine, manake unakuta hata fridge walivuta wakaacha pale kwa mlango. Nafikiri kwa sababu ya oga, lakini hiyo design ambao walikuja nayo ni kama walikuwa na nia ya kwamba waibe kila kitu kwa nyumba, wasafishe kila kitu. Nilipiga simu polisi na nikatuma wale vijana wangu waende kule ili wakaweze kuelezea na kuandikisha statement.
Crossing borders now, official data today has shown that India surged past 10 million coronavirus cases, which is the second highest in the world, although new infection rates appear to have fallen sharply in recent weeks. The number of cases increased by just over 25,000 in 24 hours, and according to the Health Ministry, while the total number of deaths from the virus in India now stands at 145,136. Azamunga with more.
In September, the vast nation of 1.3 billion people had been recording daily new cases of almost 100,000 and looked on track to surpass the United States as the worst-hit country. But the outbreak has accelerated in the US and appears to have lost momentum in India, despite the country being home to some of the most crowded cities on the planet. The United States, with a population quarter the size of India's, has been reporting upwards of 200,000 new cases daily in the recent weeks, 10 times as many as India. India's fatality rate is also considerably low, less than half that of the US. Residents in the new capital, New Delhi, say they were still worried but were more comfortable than before about leaving their homes.
So that it doesn't increase in the new year, we should try and obey the rules that are being, guidelines that are being given to us, instead of, disregarding it and, just doing as we please.
I am eagerly waiting for the vaccine because vaccine is very much needed. The situation is...
The 10 million mark came as the world's second most populous nation gears up for the colossal and challenging task of starting to vaccinate the population next year.
Once the vaccine is available, it's still not clear who is going to get it first. It's said that doctors, government staff and senior citizens will get it first. We don't know when our turn will come or how long it will take.
The government aims to inoculate 300 million people initially, with health workers and other frontline staff expected first in line. India has yet to approve any vaccines, but several drug makers have applied for authorization, including AstraZeneca, which has partnered with India's Serum Institute, the world's largest vaccine maker. Sazamunga, Switch TV, Nairobi.
Meanwhile, an international team of experts is due to travel to China next month to probe the animal origin of COVID-19 and investigate the spread of the virus. The World Health Organization Emergency Chief Michael Ryan told reporters the experts were expected to travel in the first week of January. Ryan also said that the experts will observe COVID-19 protocols to curb the spread of the virus during their trip.
The team will visit Wuhan. That's the purpose of the mission. Clearly, we will have to. The team will pass through and by Beijing, as is the necessary part of any mission that's considered to be a joint approach and we will show good courtesy to our colleagues in China. The mission is to go to the original point at which human cases were detected.
Well, and I'm tossing the ball to Ezekiel Mutua for the latest in the world of sports.
Many thanks for staying with us for this comprehensive sporting bulletin. My name is Ezekiel Mutua. Now, kicking us off, following Football Kenya Federation President Nick Mwendua's confirmation that they will abide by the Sports Dispute Tribunal on the decision to reinstate Zoo FC and Mathare United to the Premier League. Mathare United CEO Jecton Obure has committed on the same, insisting that FKF chair is in a better position to sort out things before he receives negative influence.
President, I think this matter belongs, you are the only person who can sort it out. Because I understand, of course, you must be having people who are surrounding you that might be giving you some negative information. But as a president, you must wake up and, you know, like Mathare United, these are your children. When one of your child goes away, you don't also punish him and chase him away. You want to know why he's running out from the, from home, and you bring him back on board. And I was telling him, if it were not for the president, Uhuru Kenyatta, for the handshake with Raila, I mean, he won the election and he had the militaries and everyone, and everybody, the judges and everybody, but he still went ahead and shook hands with the opposition leader. That's why we are staying. I mean, it's been peaceful throughout. So it only needs him to take that chance, and still nothing has been lost. He just needs to call us back on table and say, guys, now I've listened to your issues. These are the issues you've raised. Let's now go back to start time, and maybe we can get a better deal.
We do hope that the message is clear and it will reach to the FKF president, Mr. Nick Mwendwa. And moving on to some lady football, Thika Queens has edged Gospel FC 2-1 in the Football Kenya Federation Women's Premier League Round 2 action at the Steamer Grounds, which was held today. Gospel women came in thirsty for goals, with Mercy Airo putting one past Thika Queens defense at the 46th minute as the o'clock neared stoppage time. Winket Kinyua netted in the equalizers, her counterpart Rachel Mwema bagging the winning goal at the 88th minute.
This was a derby. Gospel ni game ambayo ilikuwa ngumu, game ambayo pia timu zote zimejitolea kucheza. Nimefurahi kupata ushindi.
The game was okay, only some few lapses here and there. We started the game on a high, but we finished on a low. That means that we have to work on our agility more and keep the pressure up to the